Hello guys, and welcome to Till Vacuum Do Us Part, and welcome to the office makeover. This is going to be like a clean and decorate with me. Anytime I'm doing a makeover, I like to clear out as much as I can, clean the space, and then start bringing everything back in so it can have a fresh spot and home to go to. It just kind of sets the tone so I don't feel like I have to put the same decor in the same spot. So that's how I like to do it. If you're new here, you can go ahead and click that red subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I do upload 2 new videos every single week, and we're all home related here. So it's cleaning, decorating, organizing, rearranging, home hacks, Amazon gadgets, all that fun stuff. And I'd love for you to subscribe so you don't miss any of them. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to start clearing everything out of this space. I'm still going to be using a lot of the same pieces that we have in here, but I do want to clear it out. We did pick up a new rug, so this desk has to move anyway. If I wasn't getting a new rug, I wouldn't move heavy pieces. It's just mainly those lighter ones you can pick up and move. You can clean them, you can clean underneath them, and then if it needs to find a new home, it can. But sometimes if you just leave stuff in their space, you forget that it can actually be moved around, so this kind of just shakes things up. Moving this desk was so hard. It's just a nice wood desk, so it's super heavy. Plus we have a lot in it, and I was just not in the mood to clear it all out. We thought we'd put it underneath the roller, but then the legs still touch the ground. So thankfully we have tile floors that look like wood, so you can't actually scratch them. So we just drug that on out so I could finish working on the rest of the space. If you're curious of any of the pieces I have in this room, I will leave as many links down below in my description box, just in case you like the rug that we used to have in here or the chair that's from Amazon. A lot of the things I can link for you. I will say I love the rug that's in here, but I chose it. So this used to be my office, and so I loved it, but now that we put Chase in here, he was wanting something a little bit different and a little more masculine. Typically, I would have taken this with me to my new office, but I went into a bedroom that has carpet, so I don't really need a rug, and this one would have been too big anyways. Before I put away an older rug, I do like to get it clean. So if this was super dirty, I would have even shampooed it, but not a lot of people are in here, so I'm just giving it a good vacuum, and then I'll roll it up and we can either sell it, donate it, or save it for later. You can see I'm really pulling on the rug. I had to put rug tape underneath this just so it wouldn't move or nobody would trip or anything like that. I will say it holds down really well. A lot of you guys ask how it affects the floor underneath. I had never really taken up a rug since I started using it. I will say I'm gonna have to use like a Goo Gone or some type of oil to get it off my tile floor. So I don't know how this would do on wood floors, so definitely be careful if you have that type of floor. But if you're using this like outside with concrete, I always do my outdoor rugs so they don't blow around, or on tile, it works really well. And then you can just use some type of oil to get the sticky tape up that's left on the floor when you're finished with it. So we did get the room cleared out. I wanted to show that to you. Now I'm not touching this side of the room. I mean, I may touch the decor later, but I don't want to move the heavy piece. I don't want to move the printer because it's like wireless and it's all set up. And that space over there is working. It was more like the desk and the rug and the wall behind him. So you can see when you're working on a space, it always gets worse before it gets better. The inside of the office is cleared out, but that means everything's in my hallway and living room. So I wanted to just show you a little bit of real life behind the scenes. I do keep any of the pieces that I'm going to be filming with in my office closet, so I'm just going through and looking for the pillows and any decor pieces that I stuck in there. If you're working on a space or a makeover and you're not doing it like as soon as you get home, find a spot to keep everything so you don't forget about something. Like keep it all in one closet, keep it all in one bin. But if you start putting it in different closets and different spaces, you're going to forget you have it. Now I'm going to show you the rug we're going to put down. We were actually inside Target and I found this in like the outdoor section, but just so you know, you can put outdoor rugs inside and they hold up really well because they're made to last outside. But I was wanting a really like natural tone and color. I just love this like organic modern that we're doing in our house. Plus it's good for a man's office. I'm trying to make this a little more masculine since it's my husband's office, and I felt like this would be the perfect rug.
Little bit tongue-tied.
When I rolled this out, it was actually upside down. Now, because this is like more of a natural rug, if one side gets dirty, I could flip it. So that's what's nice about this. Both sides look pretty much the same. I will say in real life, you could tell there was a top and a bottom, but for most rugs, there's only a top. So if something stains or gets dirty, it's just done. What I like about these natural rugs is I could just flip it around and hide it, or just turn it upside down and you wouldn't really know. I'm really into this like natural look right now. I love the natural rugs. I'm going to see over time how well they hold up because I don't know how it's going to do with a shampooer, but I can definitely still like spot clean it. I've had to do that with the one in our master bedroom and it did just fine. Also, just another tip, if you ever get a new rug, when you first unroll them, they're gonna need time to relax. Now this one's working almost like there's air underneath it, kind of like when you put a new screen cover on your phone. I'm able to just like push out those air pockets, but most of the time they are wrinkled, they are bunched a little bit, but if you just let them set overnight, they typically relax really well, or you can add like a little bit of water through a spray bottle and help it to relax. But don't be worried if you like buy a rug and it's not perfect when you first open it. It's just because they've been rolled up so tight for so long. As you can see, so far we've taken everything out. We did do a new rug, but all the pieces are still the same. So I want you to see, like, when you're doing a makeover on a space or just wanting to freshen it up, you can still use a lot of the pieces you already have if you love them and if they're still going along with your style. And then you just add in a few different touches and it really will make a big difference.
Everything is wrong, you make it right. The only one who brings me back to life. I've been trying to look for all of these things to hold on to, but oh, I'm finding better days with you. Hold on to me tight as we dive into the blue.
Now, I will say we did get Chase a new desk chair. We loved that one back there. You can see I'm adding pillows to it. He's had it a few years and basically like the lift went out. So he'll raise it and while he's sitting there working on his computer, he'll just like slowly like sink down and then he's too short to work at his desk. So we went ahead and just decided to order a new one. I can link both. I don't know if that one's still available. It worked really well for a long time. It was super affordable. It's like the best price I could find in that color. This time we did, I think, spend a little bit more on this one, but the leather goes all the way up it. It doesn't have like the black mesh, but both are great chairs. This one he seems to really like, so he's just gonna put that together. I'm gonna show you some of the new pieces I have right here, and I'm gonna get to decorating while he's assembling the chair. When I'm decorating like a man's space, you try to keep it masculine, so I was trying not to do like a ton of greenery other than like real plants. I was trying to find some like black, really cool pieces. I didn't want anything to be too girly in here, so I was trying to keep it very simple and very bold. I think we did really well, so I can't wait to show you the end. This is Chase. He's still putting the chair together. It wasn't hard at all. I say it took him less than 30 minutes, just in case you're interested in buying it. It had instructions. It was pretty step by step, nothing too difficult. I did pick up some new pillows from Target. So the rug was from Target, the pillows were from Target. I think I was really like feeling their vibe in there. I just feel like they've really got some cool stuff out. So if you haven't been to Target lately, definitely check it out. I feel like you can have a very high-end looking house just from like Home Goods, Ross, Amazon, and Target. They're like the go-to places. But I was putting those pillows underneath the table in there. I feel like it helps kind of fill that gap, and he's not big into like ottomans going underneath the table, so we just did some pillows. It hides the cord and it just makes it look styled. He was able to finish the chair, and then we like having this other chair in the corner just because we do a lot of work together, and it's nice when I'm having to look at something on his screen, I can see it without having to stand. So that's why we always keep that chair over there in the corner. But I did have a faux plant in here originally, and I wanted to switch it out for one of my real snake plants, so that's what I was doing. But now let's go ahead and pull in that real chair so you can see what it looks like. I really am happy with it. It's super nice, it glides well, and I feel like it looks really good in the space. In this space and also throughout my whole house, I'm trying to get rid of a lot of the pattern and designs. I feel like it's overwhelming to me. It can look great in other people's house, but for us, once again, I'm just really loving this organic modern, especially for a man's space. You don't want like florals or swirls, so just having some like textured prints in the space is just really nice. It adds interest, but it's not super girly. And then for this back wall, it has been so plain and boring. We have went round and round with what type of accent wall we were going to do in here, but once again, it's a really hard wall because there's no center, or there's several centers because the wall keeps going into like a walkway space. It's also really tall and grand, so I was looking for something that was like art related and black frames, but it was looking so pricey, and we could never really agree on anything because he wanted it masculine, but I also didn't want something crazy because this is like the first room you see when you walk into our house. So recently we were redoing our dining room. I'll leave that video linked down below if you missed it, but we had taken down these frames to do an accent wall, and we both agreed like these would be perfect for his office. The photos inside are just our favorite vacation spots, and two of them were like his childhood vacation spots, so it was just perfect to go in his space. It's good, it's masculine, it's bold, it's going to take up a lot of the space on the wall, and it was super affordable. And once again, those frames are from Target. Anytime you're trying to hang multiple pictures, like directly side by side, it can be a little tricky. So if you have to use a tape measure, do what you have to do. I've mentioned before, I would just like eyeball it and keep taking it down and rehanging until I got it right, but it would take a lot longer. Chase is really good about measuring. Now, if you're not good at that and you don't have the patience, you can like stagger them up and down, like do one low and the next one high and the next one low, and just kind of stagger it because it'll trick the eye more. But we really like just the straight lines, especially for his office. So he did awesome hanging these. I love these frames. The black and white photos are just literally off Google, and I printed them in black and white on typing paper, and they look so nice. So just remember, the next time you're doing an art piece, it doesn't have to be super expensive. Buy a frame, use a frame you have, go to Goodwill, and then literally just print it off the internet.
I think you're perfect. On a Saturday night, I was doing just fine. I was out on my own, didn't want nobody else. Then I opened my eyes and I put down my...
So this last frame was a little tricky for us. I bought it later on from Target. Like the first 3 I bought originally like a month or 2 earlier, and then I went back and bought the same frame. But in the meantime, they had switched the hooks in the back to a different style. So we couldn't measure like we did with the other ones. So we had to keep eyeballing that one until we got it right. But it's actually easier to hang if all the other 3 were that same hook system, that they had switched it over. So we made it work. But if that one ever looks just a teensy wince off, it's because it had different hooks on the back. But as you guys can see, I love it. I feel like it's still a bold statement. This is a really cool way to do an accent wall if you don't want to have to deal with paint. Just get really cool art. You can get frames. I love how frames now have this like thick matting, so you don't have to have big pieces of photo art. It can just be small ones inside big frames, and I think it's gorgeous. Now I'm going to start showing you all of the after clips. I do want to remind you, if you're new here and you see tags left on the pieces, I don't like to cut tags for a couple days because I want to make sure I'm going to use the pieces and I love them. If not, I can easily just like take them back and return it so I don't waste the money. So all the tags have been cut off now, but anytime I first do a decorate with me, I definitely leave those tags on just to make sure, because I do like to change my mind pretty often. So here it is. We absolutely love the way it turned out. We feel like it's perfect. It's masculine, but it still goes with the rest of the house since it's the first room when you first walk in. Thank you guys so much for watching today's office makeover on a budget. I hope you learned something new or a tip or trick. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.